As photography began to show us more and more of the world, pictures became synonymous with truth because people began to think you can't trust a painting, but you can trust a photograph.
Photography has historically been a way of recording whatever time. We only have images of the 50s, 30s, 20s because of photography. You know, all the records of Hitler's atrocities are there in photographs because Hitler had people taking pictures, so they became sort of a visual reminder of whatever happened.
So photography as a documentative medium does have the ability to show the times in which we live in, the various times in which we have lived in.
Because images don't lie, and history has the ability to be sort of transformed and mutilated, and it sort of strays from the actuality of what it was. But with the photographs, you always have this grounding reminder of, this is what happened, this is what an place looked like.
It is not the complete truth, but a segment of it. So it represents some dimension to us. It shares a bit of the reality, and it's an interesting contribution to how you are capturing time as it progresses forward.
And it wasn't just professional photographers who were showing us the world. The Kodak revolution and even the digital camera revolution of today have turned the camera from a formal and professional documentation tool to a member of the family.
The Kodak revolution was bringing a camera accessible to everybody. Okay, the digital revolution is similar. You've given everybody an image maker.
It's become a universal toy. It's the chief guest at every party. And family members, like countless politicians, will put aside their differences and smile at the camera, because the way that you look in a photograph is probably the way that you're going to be remembered.
People use it to capture memories, to capture moments, to express themselves, the desire to be remembered.
And people are constantly clicking. If you look on an average day, people are clicking events, people are clicking their families, they're transferring that to the computer. This technology has certainly helped the ordinary man to document more.
But if you're inclined to think that these casual, everyday images are unimportant, history has a way of showing us how amateur or vernacular photography have shaken up the professional world. Up to the point of the Kodak revolution, photography in the hands of professionals was becoming rigid, stale, and predictable. It took a playful young French boy with a passion for photography to liberate it. Photographing his family, Latigue's comic images were a fresh and intriguing perspective on what kinds of things are worth photographing.
As a young man, when he was documenting and doing it because he was rich enough to be able to afford it, he pushed the camera, the limits, the shutter speed, this, that, telling his cousin to jump off the staircase, and you have these incredible images this young man's doing.
But although Latigue was an amateur, he had an incredible sense of observation, framing and aesthetics that make his photographs memorable.
And I think one of the main reasons is that because he was young and he was short, of course because he was young, his perspective on reality was very different from grown-ups. So he ended up shooting just a completely different angle, and that's why he has such this incredibly unique edge to his photographs.
The work of this young amateur has an important message for every photographer. Look for a unique perspective that can become your signature, and have some fun while you're at it. But if you have the role of the designated family photographer thrust upon you, but your loved ones are a bit hard to please, after the break we're going to let a few cats out of the bag to help you get more comfortable with your lens.